First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This your brother Nawat coming at you with another lesson. The title of this lesson is, For in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And I want to start out in the book of Isaiah, because this place, America, is also known as Babylon the Great, or that great city, a virgin daughter of Babylon. It's a number of names for this place that's in the scriptures. And thus saith the Lord, this place is going to be destroyed, completely wiped out. There's nothing going to be left here. As a matter of fact, the scriptures say when this place is finally completely destroyed, it's going to be a desert where only desert creatures will dwell here. No man will ever dwell in this land again. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13 and verse 17. Isaiah 13 and 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver. As for gold, they shall not delight in it. The Medes is representing the Russians, okay, because Russia is now occupying the land that the Medes have. So this is talking about Russia. Verse 18, their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. Babylon and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And you know what the Lord did with Sodom and Gomorrah. He rained down fire on those cities. He completely destroyed that place. Once Lot, okay, and his family left that city, he completely burned down. He rained down fire on Sodom and Gomorrah and completely destroyed it. I got this article here I want to get. This is out of the Benziga online. It says, Putin threatens to deploy new Satan II nuclear missile that can reach the UK in 3 minutes. Okay, so we know now that Russia has developed nuclear missiles that can reach the UK in 3 minutes. So these missiles, these ICBMs, they can move really extremely fast. Okay, the scripture said in the last days, knowledge will be increased. So he put the spirit on these Russians to develop these missiles that can reach the UK in only 3 minutes. That's fast. No time for nothing. It says important. It says here, Russian President Vladimir Putin has threatened to launch the new Satan II nuclear missile as Ukraine war now drags on for 4 months. What happened? Putin, while hosting the military academy graduates at a lavish ceremony in the Kremlin on Tuesday, said that Russia would continue to boost its military capabilities to fill the gaps suffered by its ongoing invasion of Ukraine, the Telegraph reported. So the Lord has put the spirit on these Russians over there, also Edomites. He put the spirit on them to build these super fast nuclear missiles and they're constantly over there working on new things, striving to improve their weapons. And this is the Lord, okay? Because the Lord ultimately, he's going to take control of these missiles and he's going to use them as the weapons of his indignation. It says, we will continue we will continue to develop and strengthen our armed forces, taking into account potential military threats and risk, Russian president said while hailing his troops invading Ukraine, which with courage and professionalism like real heroes. So these Russians, the Lord, like I said, he put the spirit on them, okay, to continue to advance their weaponry. It says Putin further added that as a part of his efforts to make Russia even stronger, the country would place the first batch of Shermat, which is newly tested in intercontinental ballistic missile, on combat duty before the end of the year. The missile, which is also known as Satan II, has a range of 18,000 kilometers or 11,000 miles. That can reach anywhere on the earth. It says, and can deliver between 10 to 15 nuclear warheads at hypersonic speed. So people need to understand that these nuclear missiles or these ICBMs, they have multiple warheads on them. And this one can deliver up to 10 to 15 nuclear warheads. It says it can do it at hypersonic speed. It is capable of reaching Britain in 3 minutes. It says the report also added that it could also bypass most radar and missile defense systems. As you can see, they're not playing. Okay, and this is all the doing of the Lord YAHAWASHI. He put the spirit on him, and he also, okay, is in charge of the knowledge, okay, that in the last days that will be increased. Okay, this devil not doing nothing on his own. The Lord put the spirit on him to build these things. Let's go to now to the book of Jeremiah. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 11. Jeremiah 51 and 11. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. Those arrows is talking about those ICBM missiles. Okay, as they're shooting through the air, they look like glittering swords or glittering bright arrows. It says, the Lord YAHAWASHI have raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes. And as we know, the Medes is representing Russia. For his device is against Babylon, America, to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord YAHAWASHI. It says it is the vengeance of the Lord YAHAWASHI, the vengeance of his temple. So this is the vengeance of the Lord. For all the wickedness these devils have done over the years, they're not going to get away with it. As a matter of fact, he has raised up to where now it's kingdom against kingdom. Okay? A kingdom divided against itself shall not stand. And that's what he has. The Lord is brewing up this final third war's war. And he's going to pit these countries against each other. Okay? This is, as a matter of fact, let me get this article real quick. This is from the bulletin.org. This is showing the doomsday clock for 2022. A little quick note about it. Editor's note, it was founded in 1945 by Albert Einstein and the University of Chicago scientists who helped develop the first atomic weapons for the Manhattan Project. The Bulletin of Atomic Scientists created the doomsday clock 2 years later using the imagery of apocalypse, midnight, and the complementary idiom of nuclear explosion, countdown to zero, to convey threats up to humanity and the planet. So they're constantly watching everything and they're calculating based on the condition of the world and the condition of what's going on in each of these countries and the weapons. They calculate it all out to come up with how close are we to nuclear war. And according to the clock now, we're at the closest, okay, it has ever been. The doomsday, it says at doom's doorstep. It is 100 seconds to midnight. Of course, midnight is nuclear war. It says 2022 doomsday clock statement. It is 100 seconds to midnight. So World War III is prophesied in the Bible. Okay? Thus saith the Lord, it's going down. It is going to happen. You meet people, you tell them that it's going to be World War III. They don't want to believe it. They believe that these missiles would never be launched. They would never use them. But the Lord, okay, he's in control. He decides what's going to happen. And thus saith the Lord, there will be a World War III. These missiles will be launched, okay, from all of these countries that have them. It's going to be launched. It's going to be World War III. This is the book of 2nd Esdras. Book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16. Start at the top. 2nd Esdras, chapter 16 and verse 1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves. Gird up yourselves with sackcloth. It says, gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. So the destruction of this place is at hand. Thus saith the Lord. It says, a sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood? Or may one quench the fire in the stubble when it hath begun to burn? So you can't stop this, okay? World War III is inevitable. These missiles being launched is inevitable. It says, may one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. You shoot a bow and arrow with a regular bow and arrow. You shoot an arrow, it's not coming back. Once you let it go, it's gone. It's not returning. The same way these missiles, when they are launched, they're going to go from one end of the earth to the other, and they are not coming back. It says, the mighty Lord, YAHAWASHI, send them the plagues. See, the Lord is sending them. It says, who is he that can drive them away? Nobody. It says, a fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? Nobody. It says, he shall cast his lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord YAHAWASHI shall threaten, and who shall not utterly be beat into powder at his presence? Verse 12, the earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. The sea ariseth up with the waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled. and the fishes thereof also, before the Lord YAHAWASHI, and before the glory of its power. Verse 13, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss. And when they begin to be shot from the ends of the world, so these ICBMs, it says when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world, they are going to be launched from one end of the world to the other. Okay. And he stirred up, okay, these Russians to create all these different missiles. Okay. China also, and all the other countries. Okay. The Lord is mustering up the battle. They're all getting prepared. Verse 14, behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. It says the fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. So these missiles, these nuclear missiles, okay, which the Lord created, by the way, these are designed to completely wipe out and destroy everything they hit. As a matter of fact, these nuclear missiles, when they explode, can reach a temperature of over 1 million degrees Fahrenheit, hotter than the sun. So everything these things hit within a certain radius is going to be turned back into the elements, okay, that you cannot see. It's going to be completely destroyed. It says, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backwards, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. So once the Lord put the spirit on these different countries, okay, to launch their nuclear missiles, they are not coming back. The Lord is going to take control of these. Okay, these are the weapons of his indignation. They were built for his purpose. They will be used for his purpose. And the purpose is to destroy everything that he has for them to hit. The scriptures say not one of them will miss their mark. Verse 17, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? So the prophet Esdras, he saw the vision. He saw it thousands of years ago, okay? The Lord put the spirit on him, okay, to see the vision of this destruction. And he's seeing how terrible it is. And he's wondering, hey, how is he going to get out of this? But of course, we know the elect, okay, is going to be delivered out of this. As the missiles is coming down, the elect is going to be simultaneously being beamed up into those chariots, which people ignorantly call UFOs. Okay. Let's see what else I got here. Next article, it says here, right, okay, yeah, here we go. The nuclear-armed nations spent $82 billion on weapons in 2021. So the nations are spending money, a lot of money. Okay, you see the Lord is mustering up the battle. He put the spirit on all these nations to begin turning all of their money and their wealth into weapons. Nuclear-armed nations spent $82 billion on weapons in 2021. Now, you tell me they're not preparing for World War III, which is prophesied to come, okay? In the scriptures, it says the world's 9 nuclear-armed countries spent $82 billion upgrading their atomic weaponry in 2020 and 2021, 8% more than the year before. A campaign group said the biggest spender was the United States, which accounted for more than half of the total spending, followed by China, Russia, and the United Kingdom and France. The international campaign to abolish the nuclear weapons, the ICAN, said this is the annual report on nuclear spending. Nuclear-armed states spent an obscene amount of money on illegal weapons of mass destruction in 2021. While the majority of the world's countries support the global nuclear weapons ban, the group said in its report this spending failed to deter the war in Europe and squandered valuable resources that could be better used to address current security challenges or to cope with the outcome of a still raging global pan thing. It says this corrupt cycle of wasteful spending must be put to an end. But hey, there's no controlling this. Okay, this is of the Lord, YAHAWASHI. Shai. He's put the spirit, okay, and the urgency on these nations to begin dumping all their money and resources into nuclear weapons. Okay, this is of the Lord. This is not of man, because ultimately this is the prophecy of the Lord that they're going to create all of these missiles and they're going to be launched. Majority of them are right over here on Babylon the Great. All right. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 39 and 3. It says, I will smite thy bow out of thy left hand, and I will cause thine arrows to fall out of their right hand. So the Lord, he's going to completely take control of these nuclear missiles. Once they are launched, he gonna guide these missiles to land exactly where he wants them to land. Okay, there's no such thing as coincidence. The Lord put the spirit, okay, on all these nations to create these weapons, okay, because the Lord ultimately had to make them for his, okay, for his will. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 54 and verse 16. Isaiah 54 and 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth the instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. So the Lord, he set up these scientists. Okay, you don't wake up one day and say, I'm going to split atoms. You can't even see atoms. Okay, to have the knowledge to create some weapons of this type of destruction takes an advanced mind. The Lord, he dropped that knowledge on him because he's going to use these missiles for the weapons of his indignation. So he taught him how to create these things because he ultimately, okay, is going to use them on these nations, especially here in Babylon the Great. This is, I think I got one last article here. It says, the world's nuclear arsenals on the rise as concerns grow over China and North Korea. So the world's nuclear arsenals are on the rise. You think that's a coincidence? Definitely not a coincidence. The Lord, okay, he's getting ready to come back. And these countries got to build up in just the way that he wants them to. It says, the people in Seoul watched news broadcasts showing footage of North Korean missile tests. The world's biggest powers might have once pledged to work towards a world without nuclear weapons, but the global stockpiles are expected to rise in the coming decade, according to a new report. So all these countries are building. China's building, Russia's building, the States is this Babylon the Great is building. All these nations is building and acquiring these weapons. It says there is clear indications that the reductions that have characterized global nuclear arsenals since the end of the Cold War has ended. Stockholm International Peace Research Institute SIPRI said in a report on Monday. It says the report comes amid growing Western concerns over efforts by both China and North Korea to expand their nuclear capabilities. It says the U.S. suspects that North Korea is preparing to conduct its seventh nuclear test imminently, while China's defense minister was this Wei Fenghe told the Shangri-La Dialogue Summit that at the weekend that the country has made impressive progress in developing nuclear missiles. However, while the SIPRI reports that China is in the middle of a substantial expansion of its nuclear weapon arsenal, it makes clear that China and North Korea are not the only corporates. Okay? It says all of the nuclear armed states are increasing or upgrading their arsenals, and most are sharpening their nuclear rhetoric, and the role of nuclear weapons play in the military strategies. This is a very worrying trend, it said. So this is the Lord. This is the hand of the Lord, YAHAWASHI. Okay, as the scripture says, these are the weapons of his indignation. He put the spirit on all these. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. He turneth it whichever way he will, just like the rivers of water. So he's turning the minds, okay, of all of these different kings and all of these nations, okay, to start building these weapons at a rapid pace and continuing to develop new technologies. It says on the SIPRI estimates that the United States and Russia remain by far the world's largest nuclear powers, with 3,708 and 4,477 nukes respectively, while China has 350, France 290, and Britain 180. But China's warhead count has increased in recent years, up from 145 warheads in 2006, according to the Institute. The Pentagon predicts that the Chinese stockpile to at least double in size over the next decade. While the stockpiles of both U.S. and Russia declined in 2020 and 21, the SIPRI believes an alarming larger term trend will see both these countries increase their stockpiles and develop more powerful weapons. Okay, once again, the Spirit of the Lord, okay, is on these nations. The Lord is in control of all of this. Okay, everything is happening. They think that they're running it, they're in control, they're making the decisions, but ultimately the Lord YAHAWASHI is pulling the strings. It says North Korea's secrecy means it is hard to gauge its nuclear abilities. Some estimates put its current stockpile at about 20 nuclear warheads, though the U.S. and other countries believe that it is working to increase this number and its ability to deliver them. So, in a nutshell, the Lord, okay, he's mustering up the battle. Everything is going nuclear. This third world war will be nuclear. This is the book of, let's get this. Let's go here. This is the book of Job, chapter 20 and 22. Book of Job, chapter 20 and verse 22. Yep. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. So the one of the last major prophecies is the MOTB. Okay, this devil has to put the MOTB or the charagma or that grain of rice, okay, he has to put it in full effect, okay? He has to make it mandatory, okay? This is what they want. This is part of their reset, but the Lord ultimately is going to reset everything. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. when he is about to fill his belly, just when he's going to complete this new order, it says, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. It is drawn, it cometh out of the body, okay, out of the silos, those missiles, yea, the glittering sword, those ICBMs cometh out of his gall, terrors are upon him. All darkness shall be hid in secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. So these nuclear warheads, okay, themselves is the fire. Once they are detonated, okay, they're going to destroy everything, okay, within a certain radius, completely destroy. It will be nothing left. It says, it shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. The heaven shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. So this devil got a lot of destruction coming, okay? Anybody here over here in Babylon the Great, okay, think you're going to get away? You will not get away. Every bunker, everything in this country is getting ready to be wiped out. Thus saith the Lord, YAHAWASHI. He is going to send these missiles. He is going to guide these missiles. He is going to bring this Babylon the Great, okay, this last wicked beast system kingdom to an end. This is the book of Malachi, chapter 4 and verse 1. Malachi chapter 4 and verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, synonymous with Esau, and all the proud, yea, all that do wickedly, shall be stubble. The day that it says, the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord YAHAWASHI of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. As you know, if any plant or tree doesn't have roots, doesn't have branch, it ain't coming back. So once the Lord YAHAWASHI take this devil down, take all these kingdoms down. So Yahawashi, he's the King of Kings, Lord of Lords. He's finna take all the crowns. He's finna take all the kingdoms down, okay, and put them under his feet. Okay, he is going to rule and reign in the kingdom of heaven forever. He coming back to take what's his. The Lord has already given him everything down here. He just coming back to physically claim it. And you know it. It says, let's close out in the book of Revelation. Revelation 18 and verse 7. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 7. How much have she glorified herself and lived deliciously? So much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, I am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. So this devil, they built up this country and they thinking it ain't never going down. But they are sadly mistaken. It says, therefore, so her plagues come in one day, death, mourning, and famine. She shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord, YAHAWASHI power, who judgeth her. So the Lord is coming to judge this place. Okay, and he's going to do it by fire. He's going to completely burn this place away. Okay, from the east coast to the west coast. Okay, this country, this land mass, once it's destroyed, it would never be inhabited again. It says, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and live deliciously with her shall be well her. All these nations that have been getting rich off of America, okay, and sharing in the wealth and the success, it says they shall be well her and lament for her, and they shall see the smoke of her burning. So they're going to be looking at this place, okay, burning, completely burning up, okay, after they have launched all of these missiles on this place. They're going to soon realize that, hey, their money is gone too. Matter of fact, their whole kingdom is gone. Their whole nation is gone. Verse 10, standing afar off for fear of her torment, they're going to be in fear, saying, alas, alas, that great city, Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. So in 1 hour, the Most High is going to make quick work of this place. In 1 hour, he could have made it less, he could have made it longer, but he chose 1 hour. He's going to take 1 hour and he's going to completely destroy this wicked kingdom over here, completely wipe it out. He's coming back to claim what's his. And this has been, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And with that, I hope that you were edified by this lesson. I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.